Hello dear students, I am Prabhat Dubey from LPM Public School, Gola Bazar. In our BST paper, we were discussing the classification of business activities, and we have seen about manufacturing and construction industries. Today we will discuss in detail about the manufacturing industries. What type of manufacturing industries are there and what type of products are manufactured in them. What is the specific features of these four types of classified groups of manufacturing industries, that are analytical, synthetic, processing and assembly industries. Okay, so our first focus would be on manufacturing industries, so we will move accordingly. As per your books, manufacturing industries are engaged in process of conversion of raw materials or semi-finished goods into finished goods. As you know that in manufacturing, different types of raw materials are required, and these raw materials are sourced from different locations. Like if you are in food processing industry, or if you are in some electronic goods manufacturing, then different types of raw materials are required. In food processing industry, you need fruits, vegetables, grains, all type of materials that come from food and allied activities. But if you are in electronic goods manufacturing, all the raw materials are different in that. You need different types of metals, plastics and other engineering goods. So the sourcing is also different. So we will see all these things. Uh, these industries create form utility by changing the form of raw materials. We know that value addition is done in the raw material. If the raw material is sold in the market, then its utility is less. If wheat is on sale and you are making biscuit from that wheat, the use of that biscuit is different. The need that is satisfied by wheat cannot be satisfied by a biscuit, because wheat is needed and biscuit is also needed in your daily life, but the purpose that is solved by both of them. You eat bread, you eat biscuit as well, but the requirement is different, the need is different, the demand is different. So the value addition that is done while the process of manufacturing is very important. Okay, and the classification that is mainly done is consumer goods and industrial goods. If the good that is produced by the manufacturing unit is directly sold to the customer and is also utilized by the customer, then that goods would be called as consumer goods. And if the product that is coming from the industry is sold to another industry and this is utilized for manufacturing of some other complex product, like in electronics market, if you are manufacturing a television, you will not make each and every type of product that is needed, each and every type of material that is required to make a television. Different parts are sourced from different companies and you assemble that different types of products and a television set is made at your company. The label is of your company, but inside the television set different types of materials are purchased from different companies. This is the case. So the basic difference of consumer goods and capital goods should be clear to you all. If the product is consumed directly by the customer, that is consumer goods, and if the product is used by another industry, then it is what? Industrial goods. Okay, now another classification is, as it is mentioned here, analytical, synthetic, processing and assembly. Now what is analytical? As you know that the most efficient example of analytical industry is crude oil. You know that the fractional distillation of crude oil, you must have studied in your class 10th chemistry. The fractional distillation of the crude oil results in gain of petrol, diesel, different types of other petroleum products. Gases are also released, and last, the byproduct is what? Coal tar. This is also useful for manufacturing of different types of roads and other uses are also there. So the product that is made from this crude oil vary in their cost, their quality, their efficiency. Kerosene oil, petrol, diesel, gasoline, all these things are obtained from a single raw material, that is crude oil. But rate, efficiency and demand in the market is different for all these products. So if from a single raw material different types of products are obtained, then that is called analytical industry. Okay, I think this is clear to you all. The second one is synthetic industry. The case here is totally different. In this industry, different types of raw materials are required and they are combined in a specific ratio, and now a different product is resulting, like soap, paint. Manufacturing of soap require different types of chemicals. Some chemical will provide it the smell, some will enhance its color, some will provide it specific type of quality that is required in a particular soap. Okay, so you can imagine the list of ingredient is also mentioned in the outer cover on the packet of the soap or any product. If you are using paint, different types of polymers, liquid material, all these things are required while manufacturing a paint. You can take any box, metallic box of paint, and you can obtain what type of ingredients are there and what is the composition of each ingredient. The composition is also highly needed to know what is the percentage, what is the amount of each and every element that is combined to make that specific product. So analytical and synthetic are just opposite to each other. In first, analytical, from a single raw material different types of products are made, but in synthetic different types of raw materials are combined to make a single product. The next one is processing industry. Processing, you all are clear about food processing. This is a burning example of processing. In processing, the raw material is processed through various stages of production and then finished goods are manufactured. Like if you are supplying fruit juice, you are making small and big packets of fruit juices and you are supplying to different places, and the shelf life is 6 months or 1 year. You cannot imagine keeping a orange juice or any juice, fruit juice, at your home without any food processing. If you are not using any scientific method and any preservative technique is not applied, then you cannot store any vegetable item, any food item for too long. But this food processing provides you the efficiency and effectiveness to store the food material for a very long period. So this processing is adding value, making that product to be preserved. It is enhancing the quality, color, taste. Okay, so different types of chemicals are also required. Some are useful while some are slightly detrimental to health as well. That's why on the packet of each food item that you are buying from market, the percentage of preservative, color enhancers, taste enhancers are clearly mentioned, and the warning is also there on the packet that too much use of food preservative is injurious to health. Okay, so this food processing is adding value to the raw material and just making that product useful for your life through different types of processes. Some chemical processes are also there, some physical processes are also there. Use of high temperature, pressure, humidity, each and every aspect of physical science and chemical science play crucial role in this food processing industry. You kill the bacteria and all the germs through UV radiation, treatment of UV radiation. Okay, because if there is any bacteria or any fungus in your juice or any extract or any pulp of the fruit, then it will be rotten. That bacteria will multiply very fast if the temperature and humidity is favorable for that, and it will consume all the energy that is stored in that packet, and the food product will not be in the position to be eaten or to be taken. Okay, Last one is assembly industry. As we talked about the electronic goods market, your mobile phone, your refrigerator, your television, your TV set, different types of small and big products are needed to manufacture a television set, a fan, and any company cannot make each and every equipment, each and every material that is required to make a fan, TV set, refrigerator, and mobile phones. So that company purchase these small units from different other companies. This type of industry is assembly industry, where the small parts of the gadget is purchased from other companies, and at your company the parts, some of the parts are bought from the market, and some of the parts are manufactured at your unit, and all these small parts are just clubbed. Assembly of these parts is done, and a new product, a fan, a television, a mobile set, is ready to be sold in the market. These type of industries are called assembly industry. Consumer goods and capital goods are clear to you all. The last one of the classification that we studied yesterday is tertiary or service industry. What is the basic purpose of this tertiary industry? It is just meant to help the primary and secondary activity. No product or service is fulfilled when these transport, banking, insurance, warehousing, and advertising is not made sure. That proper functioning of any industry requires transport, banking, insurance, warehousing, and advertising. If your product is of very good quality, and but the place where it is being stored is not good, if there is moisture, there are insects, there are pests, then the product will be not able to be used by the consumer. These pests and small microorganisms will feed on that product. It will make them rotten. If you are not advertising the product properly in the market, people are not aware about your product, then no demand of that product will result in the market. So all these things are required when the product is ready to be marketed, when the manufacturing process is done. All these things play crucial role in making that product recognized in the market, and these banking, insurance, transport, all these tertiary or service industry helps in making the product reach to the customer at a very good quality and within a proper span of time. If the timely delivery is also not there, then the utility of the product will be decreased. Okay, so right product at right time with right cost is the demand of the customer, and if you are not meeting that demand properly and efficiently, then your brand equity, your brand loyalty will suffer in the long run. Okay, so I think this aspect is clear to you all. If proper banking facility is not being provided, if you are not able to pay through online digital formats, banks have made your transactions very efficient and very less time consuming. Earlier, such type of facilities were not there. Even if you are manufacturing in India, you are paying to your overseas customer through your computer, laptop, or mobile sets, and it is taking few seconds just to transfer the money from your account to the purchaser or seller's account. So you can assume how much ease this technology and digital format have provided to your business and trade. Transport, no need to say about the importance of transport. If transport is not good, and especially in the case of perishable goods, the goods that shelf life is very small, like vegetables and fruits, you have to make sure that your fruit, vegetable reach to the market within the short duration, within 1 or 2 days. It should be there in the mall or in the retail shop. And if the supply chain is not efficient enough, if the proper transport facility is not there, for some food items refrigerated vans are needed, because a specific temperature is needed to maintain the taste and quality of that food product. If you are carrying milk or any fruit juice, fruit pulp, you cannot transport that material in a normal van. Refrigerated van is needed, and you need to add some food preservative in that. Without that, the quality of that food will be diminished when it reaches to the customer or the market. So you have to ensure, you have to take proper care of all these things. So the tertiary or service industry is just meant to serve the primary and secondary sector. If the primary and secondary industry is properly served by the tertiary one, then a timely delivery of the product is ensured. Okay, so I think this is clear to you all. Tomorrow we will discuss about the commerce. Okay, in commerce, no product and service is manufactured or provided. All those elements of commerce just ensure the proper delivery of product and satisfaction of the consumer. This is the basic duty of commerce. We will study about it in detail. Okay, thanks.